Hello, my dear children. Today in English, we are going to learn a new poem, Time for Everything. Time for everything. There's a time to run and a time to walk. There's a time for silence, a time for talk. There's a time for work and a time for play. There's a time for sleep at the close of day. There's a time for everything you do, for children and for grown ups too. A time to stand up and a time to sit. But see that the time and actions fit. Let's look at the first stanza. There's a time to run and a time to walk. There's a time for silence, a time for talk. So, here the poet is telling us that there's a particular time assigned for the activities that we do. For example, when we go to school, if we are in a hurry, if we are late, then we need to run. But if we wake up early in the morning to go to school, we will reach school on time and we won't be late. So we can go to school by just walking. We don't need to run. Then when in recess, when we are in the corridor, we need to walk because the other children might get hurt. It's dangerous. Or while climbing the stairs, we need to maintain our speed. Okay, then other times, like when you play on the ground, when it is a PT period, you can walk, you can run on the ground. So when we are told to run, we should run, and the other times we should walk. While you're in the class, you should walk and behave like a nice child. Then there is a time for silence. So when your teacher is teaching you in class, you should be silent and pay attention to what your teacher is telling you. But during your recess or when the teacher asks you question, you can talk. You have to talk. All the times you cannot be silent. When you are talking with your friends, when you're meeting new people, you have to talk to them. There's a time for work and a time for play. There's a time for sleep at the close of day. So, here the poet is telling us that we work the entire day. Okay, we go to school, we come back home, we play with our friends, we study, we watch TV, we eat, we do a lot of activities. So, at the end of the day, we are tired, so we should go to sleep at the close of day. Close of day means when the day ends. At night we should go to our bed. And we should do all the activities at the given time. We should do the work in the morning or in the afternoon, and when it is time to rest, we should go back to sleep. There's a time for everything you do, for children and for grown ups too. So, this rule applies not only to children but also to grown ups. Okay? What are the things that children do in their life? Yes, they wake up, they go to school, they come back home, they study, they eat, they play with their friends. Very good. And on the other hand, what are the things that grown-ups have to do? Yes, they have to wake up early in the morning. They have to go to work, to the office, or wherever they are at work. Then they need to take care of the house. Need to take care of the kids. They have to cook, clean. So there are so many things that an adult needs to do. So all these things we have to do at the given time. If we do not complete our work at the given time, we might end up saving that work for later. And when later on we don't have time, we have to just complete that work in a hurry. So it's very important to plan out our activities and give time for each and every work. So that way you will complete your work every day. If you don't study, if you don't complete your books, what will happen before exam? It will be a lot of pressure on you. So we should plan our work and complete it on the given time, because time does not wait for anyone. A time to stand up and a time to sit, but see that the time and actions fit. So, lastly, the poet is telling us that there's a time when you should stand up and a time for you to sit. For example, when your teacher is teaching in class, you have to sit down and listen to the teacher. But if your teacher asks you a question or you have to greet the teacher, then you need to stand up. Likewise, there are so many times when you need to stand up, and the other times you should sit. But we have to be careful of one thing, that whatever we do, whatever work we are doing or activity that we are performing, we have to do it at the given time. If you do it later on, or you say that, oh, I'll do it later, I'm very tired now, I want to sleep, I want to watch TV. So, what will happen after some days? You will have a lot of work. You won't get a free time or a time to rest. So, it is very important to do the work at given time and at the time that the actions fit. So, I hope that you have understood the poem. Now, you have to repeat along with me. Time for everything. There's a time to run and a time to walk. There's a time for silence, a time for talk. There's a time for work and a time for play. There's a time for sleep at the close of day. There's a time for everything you do, for children and for grown ups too. A time to stand up and a time to sit. But see that the time and actions fit. So, thank you, children, and have a nice day. Bye.